Google has some AI tools and features that most people probably don't know about. And what some of these tools can do are way beyond what other AI tools are capable of doing. Today, I'm going to share with you 6 Google AI tools that are completely free to use and 1 Google Gemini feature that requires a paid plan. Let me show you what I mean. If you have a paid subscription for Google Gemini and you open up a chat box here, you'll see under Tools the option that says Dynamic View and Labs. So if I click on Dynamic View, this actually creates a very different outcome when you give it prompts or you ask it certain questions. So for example, I've already done this ahead of time to save time. I asked Google Gemini to create me a family trip itinerary to South Korea, let's say. So when you prompt it in just a regular box, this is the outcome that I got. So it just gives you just plain text. It tells me what dates I should go to where and so forth. And as you can see, it's just a lot of text and reading. And the output was actually quite usable and very useful. But when you turn on the dynamic view, so the exact same prompt I gave it, but in dynamic view, it gives me almost like an interactive website and a summary of the exact same information or the exact same output with more visuals and bullet points that's so much more easier to read and follow through on the information. It even gives me a map on where these places that is suggested are. As you can see, I can zoom in and out of the map and interact with it. It also broke down a detailed plan in each of these places. So in these tabs, you can actually see how it breaks down the information. And as you can see, this is just so much more of a user-friendly output for me to be able to go through the information that it gave me. Now, the Google AI tools that I wanted to show you today that most people probably don't know about is under a site called labs.google/experiments. And if you go here, you'll actually see that there's a Google Labs page where a lot of Google AI powered tools are available as almost like an experiment. So it's not fully launched, or maybe it's in its beta form, but nonetheless, they're still very much usable. You'll even see Notebook LM, a very popular Google AI tool that many people use, surprisingly found under the experiments page. So you can see that a lot of these Google AI tools are still very usable, even though they're under the Google Labs page. So I wanted to show you some of these tools, like Whisk. And Whisk is a very user-friendly AI tool that allows you to create motion graphics with just still images. So I'm going to enter the tool here, and you'll see that Whisk is actually powered by VO3. And what makes Whisk very different than other AI-powered video tools is the fact that you don't actually have to prompt anything. Instead of having to try and describe what you want, which sometimes is actually difficult to do, you can just take a picture of what you want and be able to feed it into Whisk, and it would be able to generate something for you. So for example, it'll just ask you who you want the subject to be, the scene that you want it to be in, and the type of style that you wanted it to create. So I have a picture of myself that I took for a thumbnail, so I'll feed that into the program. So I'll feed it in there. And as you can see, it's just a picture of myself. That'll be the subject. As for the scene, I've chosen maybe cherry blossom season in Japan. So as you can see, I have chosen that and I've dropped the picture in there. And then see what it does. So I want the subject to be me in this particular scenery and make it in this type of style. Now you do have the option of being able to type in your own prompt down here, but I'm just going to roll the dice and see what it produces for me. And there you have it. You see a character of me that looks a little bit more realistic than I expected it to look in this particular cherry blossom scenery that I gave it. Now, in order for you to animate, you will have to give it some prompt. So now that it's put me in this particular scenery, in that particular style, have the subject walk down the path away from, starting from a far distance towards the camera. So that's not too bad. I mean, I would say it lost some character consistency there. I don't really look like that, but in all fairness, I mean, it had one picture to work with, so it's not too bad. But it did pretty much exactly what I asked it to do. The only thing is that I would have maybe wanted it to look a little bit more anime-like, but nonetheless, it did what I asked it to do. So this is what Whisk does, where you can just give it some images of what you wanted it to do, and it'll be able to piece together some of that information for you. Of course, you can refine the prompt so that you can get closer to what you want it to be, but this is a good starting point. And then as for style, I'm going to try like an anime style. There's so many AI tools that come out, and especially at the rate that they're coming out in, it's just really hard to keep up. And a lot of times when I watch videos of people teaching other people how to use AI tools, I a lot of times wonder, where did they learn these skills from, or where do you find this information from? And personally, before I even started this YouTube channel, I've always been a big fan of Skillshare. I've used their platform to learn so many different skills and gain just valuable information. And because of what I've learned on this platform, I'm able to now have my own YouTube channel. This is actually where I first learned how to use the tool Whisk through a class taught by Kavir. Not only do the classes offer very clear, detailed, and easy to follow lessons, it also offers projects for me to stay engaged and be able to have an opportunity to earn certificates. So if you want to stay up to speed with AI tools and skills or other creative skills that you would like to learn, Skillshare is a wonderful platform that you can learn these skills from. And for the first 500 people that use the link in the description below or the QR code that I will put up on the screen, you will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video and making my dreams come true. Another video generation tool that I wanted to show you was a tool called Flow. So you can create with Flow here. Now, what makes this different than Whisk is that you can actually create a video completely from scratch, from just text into video. Of course, you can also attach photos to it if you'd like, but this tool, you can really just start from scratch and just create videos just from text. So here I'm going to text it to say, create a video of a man walking towards the screen, starting from a far distance. And let's see what it comes up with. So I would say this is a lot more in line with what I was expecting to see earlier with Whisk. There is an option I've noticed here. If you click on text to video, it does say ingredients to video. So if you click on that, you should be able to upload particular files, in this case, some images. So I will do that and upload some of the images that I had earlier. So I fed it the exact same 3 pictures that I did with Whisk when using Whisk, and see what it can produce for me here. Okay, so it actually produced 2 different videos for me, one on the left and one on the right. And I realized that I didn't ask it to actually walk towards the camera, but let's see what it produced. Now, given the very basic prompt that I gave it, I would say those are pretty good outcomes, given that I didn't ask Flow for the character to do certain things like walk towards the camera, but I would say this would be a better outcome or closer to what I would want to see from the output than what Whisk was able to do. The fact that you can do this on a completely free plan of Gemini is just mind-blowing. And I encourage you to play around with it and just have fun. A tool that I thought was really cool was a tool called Pomeli. If you try it now, I'll click on Pomeli here. Let's get started. And what Pomeli does is it actually generates and it creates ad campaigns for you for your business if you happen to have a business. And if you happen to have your own business website, it's able to create marketing campaigns for you that would be exactly in the same vibe and tone and style of your current business right now. So when you open up Pomeli, the first thing it wants to know is your business DNA. So if you happen to have your own business website, you can just give it your URL and it can just go through your website and understand the vibe and feel of the business that you currently run. So because I don't actually have a business website, I'm just going to go ahead and feed it like, let's say, a well-known business like Nike. So Nike.com. It's going to go ahead and analyze the website. So that was actually less than 5 minutes. It was able to analyze a bunch of things about the website. It was able to find a lot of images on the website. It even determined what the brand logo was, the fonts that they used, and even names out or even identifies the name of the font, the colors that are used by this business, and so on and so forth. I'll say that looks good. And then it even comes up with suggested ideas as to what an ad campaign could look like. And it came up with some ideas on business campaigns. So you'll see that some of the image it took straight from the website. So here's Luca as one of the featured characters. But instead of what it says here, nice shoes for a bad man. And the campaign that it came up with was the quiet before the roar. So finished animating the video, it just has Luca's right arm kind of dribbling the ball and then the tagline appearing afterwards. So you can imagine how useful this would be if you happen to have your own business or even have a website for your business. Instead of having to hire actors and a film crew and to be able to produce this type of ad campaigns, you can just give this tool your URL website or even give it images by clicking on Add Creative down here. You can add your own characters or images in there, and it would be able to generate animated video campaigns for you. You can imagine how much time and money this would save. Here I'm going to show you a tool called Portraits. And what this tool allows you to do is to be able to interact with an expert in a particular field without actually interacting with the person themselves, but to be able to tap into their knowledge base and interact with an AI-powered coach that is powered by the knowledge of that particular expert. And if you happen to be an expert in your own field, you can apply to create your own portrait. But right now you have an option out of the 5. So I'm going to pick one of these experts, let's say Kim Scott, who happens to be a best-selling author, a CEO coach, and a former leader at Google. So if I were to click chat now, this is essentially like I would be chatting with this expert, Kim Scott, and be able to ask personal questions and receive answers as if Kim would be answering them for me. Now, you can either ask her a personal question here. You can either type it in, or if you would like, you can just click the mic button here and you can speak your particular question. Or there's pre-populated questions here. Hey, Kim, how do I navigate difficult conversations with people?
That is my favorite question. Most difficult conversations are difficult because we avoid being honest with each other out of a misplaced sense of kindness. I call that ruinous empathy.
So as you can see, instead of watching YouTube videos that Kim produced, it's almost like you're interacting personally with personal questions that you may have and receive answers from an AI-powered coach that draws from the knowledge base that Kim has already pre-populated, which I think is a powerful way for people to self-develop and help people grow and have access to expert knowledge. Next, I wanted to show you a tool called Mixboard. So under the same Google Labs page, I'm going to click on Try Now for Mixboard. And what this is an AI-powered concept board where you basically have a whiteboard where you can pin certain ideas or concepts or visual thoughts that you have on the board, and it would help you generate new ideas and even come up with a presentation that you want to present to other people. You can create a new project where if you already have photos or pictures of ideas that you have, you can then tack them on and work from there. But just as an example, I'm just going to pick one of these, and what it shows here is that this template organized certain ideas. So like the fall decoration inspiration, and there's all these pictures here, and then it can all put it together into one kind of cohesive design and in this particular room. You'll see at the top right, it used to say transform. So if you were to transform this, it's going to create it into a high quality presentation for you. And it takes about 20 minutes for it to actually generate a presentation for you. So I did that ahead of time and now it's ready. And this is actually the presentation that it came up with. As you can see that you can download these slides. If I were to scroll through these slides, these are all completely original photos that it came up with by putting together the images and the ideas and concepts that I gave it. So it even pulled out color schemes from the pictures that I gave it. It also analyzes textiles and fabrics that were in that particular photo. And as you can see, it just analyzes a lot of the photos that you give it and absorbs all of the feel and vibe that you were going for into a nice cohesive presentation. And the last tools that I wanted to share with you are Opal and Firebase. And what Opal and Firebase does is actually they are very powerful vibe coding tools. And if you don't know what vibe coding is, it's basically a tool where you can prompt in just plain English what kind of an app or software that you want to develop, and it'll do all of the coding for you. Now, I'm going to admit that I'm still in the very early learning phases of vibe coding, and I hope to make future videos of how to properly vibe code and share with you my progress of what I've produced. And so far with Firebase, what I tried to do was create an app or a software that helps me track my daily habits. So if I click on Opal and open it up, I've already started using it earlier before recording this video. And I was trying to create an app called a habit tracker where it allowed me to make a checkbox of the habits that I want to be able to develop in the new year. And it kind of starts off with a flow chart like this, where you start off with your user input. So you can tell it exactly what you want to be able to put into the software, and then create a flow chart or workflow as to what you want that input, what you want the app to do with that input, and what you want it to generate. So in the preview, I can start here, and once you click start, it'll actually create that particular app for you, depending on the description that you gave it. So here, this is the app that's running on the side. List your habits to start tracking. So let's say drink 8 cups of water per day. And that's, let's say, one habit that I want to track. And then it would run like this. It would think. After a few minutes, it created this particular app here. So it tells me my daily progress. But clearly my prompt or my flowchart wasn't quite detailed enough because this is not exactly what I had in mind. So as I said before, I'm really not experienced with vibe coding yet, but I hope with enough experimentation and getting hands-on time, I would be able to eventually one day create my own app using either Opal or Firebase. I tried using Firebase to do the same thing, and I got a little bit closer to what I wanted it to. I asked Firebase to create for me a daily habit tracker, and it came up with a checklist that I can actually interact with like this: drink 8 glasses of water, meditate, and read for 15 minutes. So I thought this was a bit closer. It was actually able to give me some dashboards here that currently doesn't seem to be working. This kind of gives you the idea of what vibe coding is that instead of actually having to code yourself, which I don't know how to do, I can prompt what I want an app to be, and it would code it on my behalf and create hopefully a functional app. So I really hope to learn more about vibe coding so I can show you my journey from starting like this, where it doesn't produce anything that's really functional or usable, into eventually an app that other people can use. As you can see, Google has a lot more to offer than just Gemini. I highly encourage you to check out Google Labs yourself and see what kind of cool tools that you can find. I hope I was able to share something new with you today, and I thank you for the time that you have spent with me. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.